Vex Network.
This is Dumb for Love, a twice-monthly podcast celebrating hope, heartache, and the ridiculous lengths humans will go to in the name of love. What's the dumbest thing you've done for love?
Hey everybody, this is Dumb for Love, and I'm your host, Jean Morrison. If I sound a little different, it's because Cat Lady's been shedding all over the studio all morning, and I think I'm allergic. I'm also happy to tell you that we have the same kind of weird, funny, and wait, what? Story you've come to expect on today's episode. When it comes to our caller story, I can say with absolute certainty that it is not going to go where you think at all, pun possibly intended. And I even have a whole new crop of call-outs just because I love you. Lastly, don't forget to check out my band's website, morrisonpoe.org, to catch the latest updates for our upcoming albums, as well as hear our newest single, Shadows. That's morrisonpoe, morissonpoe.org. For those of you just joining us, Dumb for Love is my podcast that gives us a chance to share our stories of love and relationships, for the sake of purging and closure for all the dumb things we have done or things people have done to us in the name of love. I'm so excited to have you all back on this adventure with me. Hello to all of our new listeners. You are definitely in for a treat. We want your music on our show. So if you'd like to be featured on an episode and added to our Dumb for Love Spotify playlist, we would love to have you. Any genre is accepted. Please go to our website for submission details. Got a juicy story to tell? Or maybe things that make you just slap your forehead and say, what the hell was I thinking? Either way, we want to hear it. Here's how you can be on our show. Dumb for Love Quickies. Kinda shy? Dumb for Love Quickies are perfect for you. You can call us up, leave a voicemail, or send in an email for us to read on the air. Whichever way floats your boat, go to the Tell Us Your Story section on our website. Make sure to follow us on all social media platforms via @DumbForLove. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, YouTube, and of course SoundCloud. You can also sign up for our mailing list on our website. Want to buy us a cup of tea? Listen to us on Radio Public, where each play gives us some change to buy a nice cup of green tea. Ah, so refreshing. Let's take a moment and talk about you. I want to thank all of you for the messages we've been getting in support of our little show. We love making it, and it really makes us feel good to know you love hearing it. Are you ready for some magic? Enjoy the ride. Let's get on with the show. Welcome, everyone. I am joined today by the lovely Dana. How are you doing, Dana?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you tonight?
I'm excellent because I have you on my show.
Oh, you're so sweet.
I mean, you are like such a beautiful, cool rock star, and I love spending time with you because it's always a blast. You are incredible.
You know what? I really appreciate you saying that because it's so nice to have friends that you've kind of grown with throughout the years.
You do Hair for Poison. That's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah, absolutely do. I love the fact that that is something that I still can do after all these years. And I'll tell you what, the last summer was the best tour ever.
Oh, yeah?
Ever. Because everybody is so much cooler now and they're not so crazy and I'm not so crazy.
So how long have you been doing Hair for Poison?
So it's only for the tours, and I work with Ricky Rocket. He is one of the most important people in my life because he has put up with me growing up around rock stars and doing things I shouldn't do and learning from them. He's always been very supportive. And actually this summer, I had my best friend with me and then I had my aunt with me. And I told them, I was like, I'm not the best hairstylist in the world. It's not about that. It's only the fact that I am amusing and make him laugh, and I'm there for comedic relief that he lets me roam free around an arena.
Also, because you are the best hairstylist in the world. So don't say that you're not.
I mean, I don't suck, but it's not about that.
It's because the whole package is good.
Comedic relief, and it's probably my butt and my boobs, too, and they will say that, which is cool.
Oh, my God.
They're really good guys. The highlight of my life to be able to do that. It means a lot to me.
That is so cool.
I think so. It would be better if it was the Backstreet Boys, and I've always said that I would leave him for the Backstreet Boys.
Oh, no.
He knows. He knows that if the Backstreet Boys are like, hey, Dana, can you do hair? I'd be like, peace out. I'm not doing this summer tour.
So I'm going to put this out there to the Backstreet Boys. You need Dana. She's incredible. You will love her. And we're going to make this happen. So with that said...
Plus, you're the rock star. I just pretend like I'm one.
No.
So in order for me to do that, I just make rock stars look good because I have no musical talent.
You're definitely a rock star at what you do and just in life. So just don't ever forget it.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. So if your story had a title, what would it be?
Oh my gosh. I thought of many titles, but I think it's going to be, Damn it, Dana, how many times do you have to touch the stove to realize that it's hot?
I love it. It's like the title of an amazing book that I want to read.
Yeah, it's like the story of my life. Like, I even know this is going to happen if I do that, but like I still have to prove to myself multiple times until it's intense so I can learn.
All right. Well, then why don't we just get right into the story? Let's see what burned you. Let's hear it.
Well, so I had been on and off like dating websites for the past couple of years. I've only had like 3 boyfriends, I guess, in my life, and I'm 34. So I've always put myself out there, but the dating world was just so frustrating because these guys would present themselves one way, they would tell you who they think they are or tell you who they want you to think they really are at heart, when in fact you actually put all this time into getting to know them, and then you go meet them eventually, and they've used pictures from like 10 years ago, and they just want to like jump your bones like at the dinner table.
Yuck.
And don't get me wrong, the free dinners, that's great, But this story really takes the cake.
Okay.
So his name is Kyle. Kyle was stationed at our local Army base. He is or was a sergeant first class. Now, I've always been told, and I've always, stuck by this rule, to never date a guy in the military for various reasons. Call it judgmental, but it was just my thing.
Okay.
Well, I decided maybe I should just make sure. Because it did appeal to me that he did have a really good job, and he was obviously a good citizen, because like you can't be a piece of crap and be that high up in the military.
So what were your reasons before to not even want to try it?
There's a common perception among women with like guys in the Marines or military guys in general. They just kind of have that like lack of emotion.
Okay.
And I don't know, but it's just, one of my best friends is married to a guy in the Coast Guard, and I'm totally not including them in this. And I think maybe it was how I was raised.
Right. It's just from experiences you heard around, you got this, let's call it an impression.
Yes, it was. Plus, I didn't like the lack of stability because, with a military relationship, you're not in control. It's up to the military, and I didn't know if I could handle that.
Right.
But of course, I was like, let's just see how this goes. Well, in the beginning, we were just talking all the time, and, he lived like less than an hour away from me. But it took so long for us to actually meet. I kept saying, look, I'll drive down there. It's not a problem. I've been to Fort Bragg before for various other dates, like when I was really young. But one of my character defects is I can be a little bit too understanding. So if somebody tells me that they're working or they don't have time, I'm going to believe it because I'm being honest with them. So why wouldn't they be honest with me?
Right. Seems reasonable.
Well, yeah. So we got to know each other, through talking and texting for like 6 months. And I knew that he had been married once before. He had 2 children. One was by the ex-wife, and then there was another one, like a baby mama.
Okay.
He always talked about how when he got out of the military, he always wanted to go back to Fort Hood.
Okay.
He always kept bringing that up, how great Texas is and all this kind of stuff. This is important to know for the end of the story.
Okay.
And also, I think I don't know if it was his ex-wife or baby mama, one of them lived there with the one kid. But he did not have a good relationship with the kids either, which kind of was a red flag, which I should have, realized. Because, be a father to your kid.
Exactly.
But, I didn't listen to my gut. So I get to the point where I'm like, okay, dude, let's just do this. He's like, well, why don't we meet halfway? And against my morals, I decided, you know what, I do need to get laid. Let's just do this. So we actually met, I can't believe this is like really embarrassing. We met at like a hotel on like Interstate 95.
Dana, sometimes you just got to get laid. It's not embarrassing. It's human nature.
Yeah, but if hell was nicer, I think I would have been okay with it.
Okay.
Because now I'm thinking about all this. I'm like, damn it, and the shitty hotel, too, wasn't even a really nice one. I mean, damn.
Cheap hotel sex.
Yeah, but like when I got out of the car and when he got out of the car, the first thing he said to me, he's like, God, you're even more gorgeous in person.
Oh.
And he came over and hugged me. And I'll tell you what, I did feel a connection. I was like, damn. Hell yeah, like it was that kind of instant connection. Mm-hmm. So we went in and, he got the room or whatever. We went upstairs. Like it was one of those motels where like the steps are outside.
Yeah.
Sketch. And, but I was like, whatever, dude, let's do this. So we were talking or whatever and we're grown-ass adults.
Yeah.
We definitely had a pretty interesting throwdown. I would say very passionate. Like, I didn't feel like it was a hookup.
Mm-hmm. Why was it interesting? Interesting was an interesting choice of words.
Because he was very passionate, very attentive. Mm-hmm. And
was it like him like throwing you here, going on the bed, against the wall, on the floor?
It was more passionate.
Mm.
Like I've always said, my dream man, I would like him to make love to me and then fuck me like he owns me.
Hell yes.
Right? So that I have like, because you can't treat me like a whore if I don't feel like you really love me inside.
Yeah. Love me first, then treat me like a whore.
Absolutely.
It's perfect.
Yeah. If I get that from you, I know where we're at. And I know we're role playing.
Right. Because deep down,
like,
I know that you really love me. So it's okay if you're like, hey, bitch, get on the floor. And then I'm like, yeah, because you love me, baby.
Right.
I get you.
Yeah, absolutely. And like as fucked up as that is, yeah, pretty much. And so because it was like that, I was like, I felt more of that connection. Mm-hmm. But you know what? Looking back on it, I'm like, why the hell couldn't I just go to his house or he come to mine? We both I lived by myself. Mm-hmm. He said he lived by himself. Mm. So what the fuck? But whatever, we had a really good night, and the way that his schedule was, he would wake up at like 3 a.m. or something, so he would go to sleep later. So he wanted to go to sleep a little bit earlier. So I remember I could not sleep because I just wanted to like have more communication with him, spend more quality time instead of him sleeping and me.
Yeah, you just had that whole thing, and now you kind of want to talk and feel close and feel like, let me get to know you a little bit more right here face to face and have your moment.
Yeah, I wanted to create, I guess, more of a memory instead of him sleeping next to me.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I wasn't done yet. I have more things to talk about. Why are you sleeping? Shit.
Come on, I'm right here. I have things to say.
I know.
Why would you take this time to nap?
Yeah, and I remember, being so antsy that I actually went outside to smoke a cigarette, and I hide the fact that I smoke from almost everybody. Mm-hmm. It's just my thing. I actually hide it from my current boyfriend, and when he hears this, he's going to flip his shit.
Oh, no.
He is. He's going to fucking lose his mind, but that's my own issue, whatever. So I went outside to call my best friend because she wanted to know where I was and how it was. And so I remember going out there and I was like, girl, that was like the best sex ever, but he's sleeping. So I went back in there and went to sleep. And I did try waking him up multiple times.
Were you trying to wake him up for sex or to talk?
I don't know. Just because I was bored. I mean, occupy me in some way.
Right.
There's no remote control in this shitty hotel, and I can only watch one channel.
Oh.
So,
how long did your sexcapade last, though, before he knocked out?
Well, there was a couple of them. I think we went twice, and I like the fact that he knew what he was doing, put it that way.
You could give details. It's okay. We are all adults.
I liked the fact that he actually knew how to pleasure a woman with his tongue.
Okay, so it wasn't like the alphabet or anything like that. He actually knew what he was doing.
He did, and that is a really hard thing to find.
It is. I try to train, but, I can only do so much.
You can. I mean, that's the thing. I think you should. You should absolutely teach as many people as you can.
Have some kind of a seminar. How to use your mouth.
Don't research how to please the other person. They only know what works for them.
You are absolutely right. So he knew exactly what to do with his mouth and tongue, and you were like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then in the morning when we got it on, he asked me if I would lick his butthole. That creeped me out. I am not that girl.
So was it out of nowhere? Were you already in the middle of something? Oh, okay. So he's like, hey, baby, we're about to do this thing. And we just had this whole night of sex, but I'm going to be really random and just ask you to lick my asshole.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, fuck that shit. I'm sorry, but like, I will do some crazy shit, but I am not going near your butthole with my tongue. I don't care if we're married. That's just, you know, you have to cut it off somewhere.
Yeah. And you guys were just being with each other kind of like that. And that's kind of like a big request. That's kind of like, hey, can I stick it in your ass? Let's be really close. And then, you know, we can revisit that situation. But if it's like the second time that you fucked each other and he's like, oh, I'm going to put it in your ass, then it's kind of like, hey, dude, let's talk about this for a second.
Right.
It was kind of too soon.
I have boundaries. I'm a lady.
Yes. You're a fucking lady. Like, you showed up to get laid, but damn it, you're a lady. And he said he cared about you.
Exactly. That was the other part about it.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I was being used. I remember on the way home that next morning, blasting music and be like, fuck yeah, you know, because I felt like there was more to come.
Oh.
And I really have a good sense of like judging someone's character. And this whole situation proved that I don't.
Oh.
So the next day, you know, I remember because he was also taking online classes at Penn State. We always had all this homework. So, you know, I'm like, oh, okay, you have to like leave at 7 o'clock in the morning. Okay, I understand, you know, whatever. Well, over the next like couple days, we still were in communication, but not constant.
Mm-hmm.
And his excuses were his job.
Do you think it was because you wouldn't lick his butthole?
Yes. I knew that it was because I wouldn't like his butthole, and I was like, well, fuck that. I'm not doing that.
So was he weird after you said no?
I don't even think I said no. I kind of looked at him like, I was so caught off guard that I didn't even know what to even say. Right. I couldn't even word it appropriately. Like, no one's ever been like, lick my butthole. I mean, what? What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, you say no if you don't want to. But that was a really random request and not one that should have just been brought up so out of the blue, you know?
Right. Had I been a little bit prepared, maybe I would not have been so like, what? Like, I didn't even like really respond. I just kind of looked at him like I had.
Right, because it's not like he went near yours or something and then was like, ooh, see, look, now I'm doing this. I might like this. And then he like takes your hand and he's like, hey, touch me here. And then you're like, oh, wait, he likes butt play. And then he's like, oh, lick my ass. Then you would have been like, okay, I kind of see how we were leading up to this.
Yes.
You know, but that didn't happen. So it was just a matter of 0 to 100. Hey, let's do this. I'm fucking you. This is great. Now lick my butthole.
Right. Like, that's just not something you do when you first meet somebody.
No. I mean, maybe some people.
Apparently. I was like, this army guy is a fucking freak. And then I remember a couple days later, he did bring it up again. What? He said something about it. He's like, would I be comfortable or have I ever done any like anal play and stuff? Mm-hmm. I did once a long time ago and it terrified me. I will never put a strap on again and fuck a guy. I just don't want to be that person.
It just wasn't for you.
Right. So I did eventually explain it.
Okay.
So I knew he was going to be deploying overseas. And I learned from what his position is, he's basically in charge of like 50 guys, right? Mm-hmm. He did a lot of like chemical, biological, nuclear stuff. Mm-hmm. So in order to actually get to that level, you have to pass all these mental, physical exams. So like I was like, oh, he's not crazy.
Right.
So we actually did not even get to see each other before he deployed. I tried many times, but there was always an excuse.
Like what?
Number 1, work. Number 2, homework.
Number 3, whatever.
Yeah, and I actually remember because my friends had come down for her birthday, and I remember like he was texting me and stuff, and I was like, come up here, you know, because they have like a double room, and he just wouldn't.
So how are you feeling about him at this point?
Because of what he was saying to me, I felt like this was going to last, and when he came back from deployment, we had all these plans. He wanted to do all these things.
Like what?
Anything I was doing. If we were talking and I was going to Target, he would be like, well, you know what? I'll be going to Target with you all the time. And I remember because it was around Christmas, they had the Christmas parade. Mm-hmm. And I was planning on going with like my sister and a bunch of other people. And he's like, next year I'll be there with you holding your hand. He was very good at, I guess, providing what I needed to hear to want to commit to somebody and have them be deployed. He was like, you need to download WhatsApp, because when I'm overseas, that's how I can communicate. Because I was like, well, what is it like over there? He's like, it's pretty much like the base here. It's very modern. You have everything you need. Because I'm thinking he's just going to a tent in the middle of Afghanistan.
Right.
From what he said, that wasn't true. So looking back, I should have fucking known. Hello.
Yeah.
So when he was at the airport getting ready to leave, he was like, I just want you to know I love you. And that struck me, and that made me happy. Because I was like, I love you too. Like, I'm glad that you said that. Thank you.
So was that the first time that he ever said it?
Yeah. I talked to my friend too, and she was like, the role of a military girlfriend or whatever is their job comes first. You have to respect their job, and they will take care of you, kind of thing. So I naturally will take care of anybody in my life. Anyway, he went to Germany, and then he ended up landing in Qatar. So the time difference was a little bit weird. Oh, actually, let me rewind here.
Okay.
So, I'm on Facebook. You're on Facebook, right? Mm-hmm. He was on Facebook too, but he had a very limited amount of information on there. There was a weird setting. Like, we could message each other on Facebook Messenger, but we weren't friends. Okay. And I remember saying to him, like, can I put you on my relationship status? Because, like, I'm proud of you.
Right.
I want people to know that I'm dating a man that's fighting for our country. And you know what he said to me? He's like, I can't because of the military.
See, now that is an answer that could pass. And if you don't know a lot about their rules and stuff, you could go, oh, okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that also could be a big load of bullshit.
And he said, because like when he would be on there or active or whatever, and he wasn't talking to me, so I'm like, who are you talking to? Like, not because I am paranoid, but I'm just trying to, conversation. And you know what he always would say? He's like, I just talk to my mom on there. That's it. I just have it for my mom for when I'm overseas.
Right. Because that's like the first place that a mom wants to go to is Facebook. But okay, that's where you're talking to your mama. I believe you.
Right. So that also reassured the fact that his phone wouldn't work, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, it's your mom. How could I, you know what I mean? Damn, I'm not going to fight with that. And his parents were all the way in Idaho where he was from. We would talk, but like every time he would just get extremely sexual and want to video chat. Well, the video chat would start and he would just be like playing with himself. At first I was like, okay, this is fine. I can deal with this. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, but I'm not the type of person that enjoys doing that. It's not, you're not there.
And if it's every single time, then that's not really having a relationship. You're just kind of fucking on the web. You're not really talking. You're not really connecting. It's just, I'm going to get on here and I'm just going to pull this out.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm not getting paid for that. So why the fuck am I going to do that?
Exactly. I'm so proud of that
that's
statement.
How I felt.
For real. Like, what the fuck?
Like, there are girls for that, and if that's what there's porn, you can go on there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if that's what you want to do every single time that you're talking to me, then I don't really feel like you want to talk to me, I just feel like you want to use my face to fuck yourself. Like, I mean,
yes, and I know that he likes to, I know that, I probably should have been paid, because you know what? I definitely always excited him.
Oh, yeah, well then you definitely should have gotten paid.
You know what? I'm going to add that to my resume.
You should. You absolutely should.
I'm going to change careers. We're just going to make a mental note of this when I don't know what I'm going to do with my life.
Making a mental note. I'm actually making a little note right here in my book. So when you start this for real, I'm calling.
Good. You can be my manager. You can be my madam.
All right. You got it.
Make sure you're overseas and you don't have a cell phone.
Has gotten so much better by the second. I can't even tell you. But moving on so I could stay focused. You are having this time with him and he just kind of wants to beat off or be sexual with you and you're like, mm-mm.
And stick his fingers up his butthole.
Ooh, his own fingers.
Yeah.
So he had a butthole thing.
Yeah, which I get the whole prostate thing. That's cool.
Yeah.
But it was
that
a
could
little...
be sexy, but if it's kind of like a little bit more vulgar or all the time and you're not expecting it, and you're kind of having a moment and you're like, okay, fuck, now I have to have this like sex time that I really wasn't in the mood for. I really just wanted to talk to you about like what show I watched on Netflix yesterday. But you want to explore this. Okay, cool. And then all of a sudden it's like, I'm trying to be here with you, finger in the butthole. Again, I was not prepared.
You totally get me. You are picking up what I am putting down.
I completely am. I am with you. I promise.
I require like an emotional connection. I do need to talk your ear off at times. My boyfriend now, he'll just be like, you just talk like about 18 different things and you didn't really get to the point. And I'm like, exactly. But you listen. Thank you. And he never really was that type that would communicate with me either. Oh. I never really got to get in there deep. And so, he was getting in there.
I was going to say, he got in there deep for the both of you.
Yeah.
But you never really got to like have that deep, intimate connection verbally where you're like really connecting on another level and like getting to know each other.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I would wake up in the morning, and that's when I wasn't working because I was still trying to figure out my life. It was around Christmas.
Okay.
And I expected him to send me a package or something. I asked him multiple times, can I have the address so I can mail you something? I was going to make him like a care package and stuff. I actually asked him to send me pictures of Qatar because it's like right on the Gulf or whatever, and like apparently it's really pretty, and there's a beach, and I was like, send me pictures. I never got pictures. I never got the address.
Was his digital camera broken? Did he not have a phone? Was there no like Polaroid?
It was busy working.
I mean, if he had all the time in the world to play with his dick and his asshole, I think he could have sent you a picture.
That is the number one like point of this whole story. The point is...
Okay, so he doesn't send you any pictures. You're trying to be romantic and cute, and you're trying to be a loving girlfriend, and he's not helping you out here. So he doesn't send you any pictures. Yeah. And then what happens?
So Christmas comes around, and I didn't hear from him like, I don't remember if it was Christmas or Christmas Eve, but there was one of those days that I did not hear from him at all. And I was used to hearing the beep of my phone and waking up and be like, oh my God, he's awake, because I didn't know when I would talk to him next. I cherished those times.
Yeah.
It was exciting for me. I didn't have much going on. Like I said, I wasn't working. I was depressed. And it just kind of gave me something that made me feel a little bit good. Oh, it was Christmas Eve because I was sitting there with my sister, her boyfriend, and my mom. And my sister asked me about it. She's like, so, have you talked to your army guy or whatever? And I'm like, actually, no. And she was like, Danny, he's totally, fucking with you and all this. And I was like, no, he's not. It's real or whatever. And I remember just trying to, like, keep it together. Well, his excuse when he did talk to me, like, the 26th was he was celebrating it with his crew.
His army buddies. He was busy hanging with the guys.
Yeah, but you know what? That's ridiculous. I should have known. So then it was a couple days later, and shit just kept happening where we weren't communicating as much. And I would see that he was on Facebook, and he wasn't messaging me. And yeah, it got to that point where I did get a little bit like paranoid, but this is good that I got paranoid because then my brain started working.
Okay.
And then I started getting mischievous. I was questioning it, and I'm like, there's something going on here. I'm going to fucking figure it out. Do you know what I did? You're going to be so proud of me in the end of this.
What did you do?
I tried to think, how could I bust him or prove? I just felt like there was something I wasn't being told. So my friend told me that there was a possible way that you could download an app and it would track your phone if they clicked on like the link that you sent them. That's number one. Number two, there's apps out there that you can actually change your phone number. I actually changed it so that he thought Penn State University was calling him. That's where he was taking his classes.
Clever girl. I love all of this.
Just wait, it gets better. So I was talking to my best friend at the time in New Jersey about it like every couple hours to try to plan this. We did that. So then she's like, have you ever called his phone like since he was over there? And I'm like, no, he said it doesn't work. She's like, he's a biological nuclear big person in the army. You don't think he has a fucking iPhone over there? And when she said that, I was like, oh my God, duh.
Yeah.
How are you FaceTiming me?
Exactly.
Or not FaceTiming me, but video chatting me on WhatsApp.
But you know what it is? Being dumb for love means you sometimes don't see the things that are right in front of you because you want to deny it, because you really want this to happen. You really care about him or you love him and you really want this to be what you hope that it was. So you don't want to see the things that are right in front of you. And so they will make the craziest fucking excuses. And in that moment, you really believed their bullshit until later where somebody else is like, hey, if he can do this, why can't he do that? And then you're like, fuck, why didn't I see that? Because you couldn't. You were blinded by the dick and by the love.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And it's important for me to be a good person to whoever I'm in a relationship with. But, we have to put our oxygen mask on ourselves before we can best assist others. So I downloaded all the apps, whatever. I tracked his phone. Do you know where it was coming up from? And I got the street view of the actual satellite picture. It was coming up in Texas.
What?
Girl.
No.
I actually did it like twice and actually did it to my best friend to have her click on it to see if it was real.
Wow.
I knew it was on. So then I was like, I'm going to catch this motherfucker. He thought Penn State was calling. It rang and rang and he answered the phone. He's like, hello? I have never really cussed anybody out in my life. I cussed him the fuck out so good that I should get an Oscar.
What were the kind of things that you said? Just give me like some of what you can remember.
One of the main things that he always loved about me and he would always tell me is that I was always so understanding and loyal and caring. And he used those things against me. So you could recognize all these things about me, but you know that you're taking advantage of that? Fuck you.
Ugh, what a fucking douchebag. He has this beautiful, attentive girl, thoughtful, loving, sweet, willing to get twisted up, and maybe, you know, talk about other things in the future to go maybe a little bit further.
He wanted me to move there. Like, things were talked about for the future. It wasn't just like all about him, you know, being all sexual. It wasn't all about that either, because he would plant those seeds in my head about what we were going to do and how we were going to take this trip and how he wants me to move down there and
how you were going to have a real life together.
Yeah, and at that time I was like, well, maybe this is what it's supposed to happen, because wasn't working. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. So
what did he say when you caught him?
He didn't say a word, and I must have cussed him out for like 5 minutes. I was like, fuck you for taking advantage of me. When I said, I know you're in Texas and I have a street view of your house and it's beige with black shutters, he went, what? He like literally was like, what? Like, I don't even remember what I said. I think I blacked
that's
out.
So badass. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure you were livid. I'm sure that you were speaking tongues. Your head was spinning, all different kinds of shit.
Oh, yeah. Like, they would have, like, put me in a mental asylum if somebody had been in the room with me.
So you let him have it, and you're like, you motherfucking cocksucking son of a fucking bitch, piece of shit, lying fucking cunt. And he's like, but baby. Like, what does he say?
That's the thing. Gene, that's the thing, man. Only thing that he said, I'm sorry. He wasn't really believable. It was just kind of like that was what he robotically would just say.
So after you say all this to him and he's caught like a bitch, that's his response is, I'm sorry?
Yeah.
And not even like a heartfelt one.
That's when I was like, okay, fuck you. I hope you fucking die. And I've never said that to anybody before. But at that moment...
So what was his fucking endgame? To like drag this out and make you feel like it was this like romance and you're gonna get married and he's so in love with you and all this fucking bullshit, to just be like, oh, I'm sorry, and then that's it, and then just let you go? Like, did he try to fight for you?
No, and then I cussed him out about 6 more times. I did it on WhatsApp. I left him a bunch of messages. I went crazy. Like, I've never stuck up for myself so much in my life. On WhatsApp, I was like, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. How could you do this? You're a piece of shit. And then I did it on Facebook. And then I realized that's why he couldn't put me on there as like relationship status. He must have been with his ex.
I bet you that it wasn't one. He was probably playing the same fucking record for all of these other girls, and he didn't let you see his page because then everybody would have seen each other and he would have been busted. And he was trying to keep all this shit spinning because I guess it made him feel good, it made his ego, whatever. Or more than that, and this is kind of shitty and sad, but he just wanted a bunch of girls to fuck him on webcam or meet him at hotels. You know what I mean? And so he plays on people's hearts, you know? That is such a fucking dick move, because all you have to do is just be straight up, look, I don't want anything like serious. I do like you. I would like to, you know, occasionally fuck you, but I don't know if this is going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
But to make you feel like he loved you and that he's going to be there for you and hold your hand during Christmas and all this romantic fucking shit.
Like, he really was a predator for my emotions. So, yeah, I did go crazy for a little bit, but I was proud of myself. I still don't regret that because I would do it all over again.
Let me tell you something. That guy did not want you to go to his house because somebody already lived there.
Yeah, you're right.
This is a person who seems very nefarious and they love to go around and have all of these adventures, but he leaves, you know, like the old bag at home. He's one of those fucking guys. So he's probably married, doing all this shit, running around with a bunch of different girls. Oh, baby, but I love you. Yeah. And he's fucking full of crap. A lot of the things that happened are kind of things that I would have gone, hey, you know what? Maybe it is because of his job. So those things were passable things. But the other things, like I said, we just kind of like don't want to face it because we want to be in love. And we can't even imagine that person that we just fucked and said, I like you. And he's like, hey, lick my butt and all this stuff. We don't want to believe that same person that could sit in front of us with that face could just be so fucking full of shit and lie. Did you ever talk to him again? Did he ever try to get you back?
No, he never. He either didn't respond or I would see he would read it and then he would be like, you're right. That's what pissed me off. So I'm like, I know I'm right, motherfucker.
Yeah, but like, where is your emotion? Where is your, hey, don't leave me, Dana. I love you. Yeah. I fucked up. I was so stupid. I miss you. All of this has meant so much to me. And I think that equal with the lying is the fact that he didn't do anything to make you feel important.
Yep, and that's pretty much how it ended. And that even messed me up a little bit more because I'm like, damn, now I'm really depressed.
Yeah, because you were already planning a life with this guy and you loved him and You thought you were really together and he was playing games. So you're living one life, he's living another. And now he doesn't even care enough to even try.
It was humbling later on. I mean, at first it wasn't. At first, I was mad at myself. And you know what else? I did not know about the Army. So he actually was like, they have support groups for girlfriends and wives of military guys that are deployed. So I was actually like investing time trying to understand what it would be like and what is my role to support somebody like that.
Yeah.
He loved that. He was like, it just means so much that you cared. And I was talking to my girlfriend about it, and she was like, look, it's different, but you can do it.
You really gave it a try, and he really didn't appreciate it. It was the right idea with the wrong person. And I understand that completely.
Yeah. So I didn't even try to date. I was like, fuck this. I'm just going to stay with my cat, and I'm going to be a cat lady.
Cats are amazing, though.
From January to like when I started talking with my current boyfriend, who we met through mutual friends on Facebook, I had no intentions. I was like, no, I'm never doing online dating again, because I needed to get to the point where I could trust people again.
Yeah, because that's a serious betrayal of trust.
Yeah, my current boyfriend lives in California, but our communication is there. I did a background check on him.
Smart girl. I know that a lot of people kind of like look down on that stuff and are like, oh, well, I mean, you shouldn't do blah. And this is what I said in my first show. You don't know who anybody is, okay? You don't know anyone truly. And to just blindly trust that everything that they're saying to you is the truth is ridiculous. Because people, especially that you don't know, can be fucking liars. And before you put yourself in harm's way, believe everybody's a criminal until they're not. Be pleasantly surprised. Don't be surprised in a bad way. And we, as women, really owe it to ourselves to check on the people that we're sharing our time with. They're people with records. They're people that are pedophiles or people that are rapists. And it's like, oh, but they seem so normal. Okay, but guess what? They weren't. So just make sure that you're okay. Make sure that you're safe, because you don't know anyone, and especially people that from the beginning like to hide their details. Their Facebook page is kind of a little weird, a little private, a little this. Oh, no, don't come to my house. Don't go to my page. It's all fucking full of shit.
And, I've learned since then that whole WhatsApp, that, like, people use that to hide conversations that don't show on their phone. I didn't know that because I don't do that. Right. Like, you can actually disguise it and put it in a different folder where you can't even see it.
I heard about 2 stories where people getting, like, busted because they were trying to hide their shit. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Or if somebody, like, grabs their phone really quickly and is like, oh, no. Oh, do you need to use it? Give me a minute.
Yes.
It's like, okay, bitch, who's in your phone?
Look, I am an open book, okay? I am going to be the same on fucking social media as I am on my phone. I'm not hiding anything.
Right.
I mean, you might see a couple weird selfies that I take of myself because I just want to make sure I'm still looking okay.
Yeah.
But I'm not hiding anything. So when you do realize that there are people like, okay, the problem with social media and online dating and stuff, people present themselves as whoever they want you to think they are.
Absolutely.
Right?
They are telling you a story and it's not true.
It's not reality, man. I can't deal with that shit. I hate it.
Yeah, because they are trying to put their best foot forward to kind of land you, but then their picture is entirely fucking different, or it's from like 10 years back, or it's like their brother. You know what I mean? And you're like, dude, like everybody is on your page and they're like, oh, hey, Jack, you're so cool. And you're a fucking facade.
That's how we I think, use it for like promoting and networking.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. If I had $1 for every single person that friend requested me because of the whole poison thing.
Oh, good.
And then like name dropping and then pretending like they really are rock stars when they're not. Look, from my experience, the biggest rock stars don't need to pretend like they are. They're usually more humble than people who think they are.
Absolutely.
And, like, that does nothing for me. So I will not... I'll tell you, this whole thing was a blessing in disguise because it made me finally, like, a little bit hardened and more suspicious instead of super trusting right off the bat.
So if you feel like you learned any lesson, that's a lesson that you feel that you learned?
Number 1, you should trust your gut. And number 2, if you're not getting exactly what you need out of a relationship, don't be in it.
Absolutely.
I made my boyfriend take the 5 love languages test, so I knew his and he knew mine. Because if you give me a present, that's not going to like make up for the fact that we're not spending time together and we're completely disconnected emotionally.
Yeah. I mean, and you know what makes you feel good and what you need. And this is what I always say. I mean, there's somebody for everybody, right? So if you like to talk a lot, if you like to fuck, if you want to stay away from the butt, if you want to do all those things, you are going to find somebody that loves that you talk so much, that loves that you like to have crazy sex, that also maybe doesn't want to go near the butt. You know what I mean? Like, you are going to find your person. So you don't have to change to be with anybody else. You need to find your other half, not the one that subtracts. So you add to you, you don't subtract from you.
That is some good advice. I'm going to take that advice and I'm going to tell you what my grandmother would say.
Okay.
She's 91. She has never been remarried since my grandfather died way before I was born. So I always ask my Nana, I'm like, why did you never remarry after he died? It's been like forever. Mm-hmm. She said, Dana, every pot has a lid that fits. Sometimes you try to make a lid fit because you can't find that right lid, but it's still not going to fit. It's not the right lid. He was my lid.
Oh, I love that you just said that. That is so beautiful.
It's true. And even today, like, she's 91, and I'm like, said I was looking for my lid, but I think it got warped in the dishwasher. She's like, well, then that's not your lid. I think he might have died. Yeah. She's like, he might have died. I'm like, okay, thank you. Thank you.
Your grandmother sounds like a trip.
She gives no fucks, man. She's inappropriate. You should have her on the show.
I would love to have her on my show. Are you kidding? Try to get that to happen for me. I would be so honored.
That like stuck with me though, because I always felt like, you can't fit a square peg into a round hole.
No, and when it feels uncomfortable and you're trying to fit it in there and you need to stop. You just know it. You know it. You feel it inside. We just ignore ourselves. Every pot has a lid. Every person has their other half. And just straight up, don't settle. Don't listen to what everybody else tells you love is supposed to be. Love is whatever it is for you. That's it.
Right.
I'm so excited at the potential of having your grandma on my show.
Oh my gosh. You'll have to book 2 guests that night because I don't know if she'll stay awake for the whole thing.
Even if I get grandma for 10 minutes, that's still incredible.
Man,
I'll be so happy.
She'll probably tell some crazy stuff and then just like you won't hear from her. And then what happens is she probably just dropped the phone in her easy chair and she just went to sleep. Because she gives no fucks and she'll tell you that.
That is such a trip. Your grandma and I would get along great because that's how I live my life. I have no fucks. I don't give a shit. If people like me, then they like me. If they don't, then they don't. Then you're just not for me.
I admire that.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
Because it takes a while to get there, doesn't it?
I think that it does for certain people, but I've been like this since I was like 10. I could see that.
What, you don't like
care.
me? Fuck you.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay, so you don't want to be friends with me? Well, then, you know what? You're not my fucking friend. You were never my fucking friend, and I'm not losing shit. I just kind of see it like that, where things that are in your life are supposed to be there, and the people that are around you are supposed to be there, and you can't force anything to be around you. If people are going to like my music, if people are going to like my show, if people are going to like me, then they're going to like it. And if they don't, I don't give a fuck. Because I'll tell you something. I would much rather have people go, man, Jean Morrison fucking sucks. She's the worst shit I've ever heard in my life, rather than them just be, she was okay.
There is no damn way that people can be like, oh yeah, she sucks. She might have been a bitch to me or something. Maybe I caught her on an off day. She didn't smile in the picture, Jean. But you don't ever do that. They might take offense to the fact that you're not smiling and you're wearing glasses.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I ain't smiling for anybody. You want me to smile? Make me smile. But I'm not a fucking psycho that can just smile in a picture. It's just not me. And guess what? Guess what? I don't give a fuck.
You stay so young looking because you don't move your damn muscles in your face. The next podcast will be Beauty Secrets by Jean.
Yes.
Don't smile in pictures.
Wear the sunglasses, don't smile, and don't give a fuck. Because if you don't give a fuck, then you're not stressed. Because stress brings wrinkles.
Dude. Okay, that was super. I'm going to have to write that on a sticky note and carry that with me.
Oh my God, I love you so much. I'm so glad that I had you on my show. You were incredible. I feel like I want to have you on another show telling a whole other story because this was just so much fun.
Oh man.
I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. That really was just ridiculous. But I just want to say to you, and I know that you already know this, you are a beautiful, beautiful girl inside and out. And anybody on this planet would be lucky to have you. So always know that.
Thank you. That means so much. And honestly, it was very therapeutic for it to come full circle and to be able to share it. Because I haven't shared the whole story, even when it was happening, because I didn't want to admit it, you know?
Yeah. And so how do you feel now that you shared it?
I feel so much better. Like it's been closure. And I think the more that we admit that we stumble in order to grow, the more it makes us more human and we can connect better, because we all have to learn lessons the hard way.
Yeah.
And it's something I had to step out of my comfort zone to do.
Well, knew you were going to have an incredible story, and I knew that you were going to have one that would really be something special for other people, probably right now in the same kind of a situation, to maybe wake up from the things that you've said and then go, oh shit, I think I might be in this. I need to get out.
Yeah.
You know?
That would be the ultimate thing.
Well, that's what the show is about. It's letting go all of your dumb for love bullshit and just kind of seeing that you're not alone. We've all done this, and that you can learn from it and get better and move on.
That's why you rock, Jean. You can do anything and just make it good.
Oh,
you know?
thank you so much. You are so sweet.
No, really.
That means so much.
I would do anything for you, girl.
Oh, I do anything for you too. And I miss you,
Thank
and
you.
I'm so glad that we got to talk.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, sweetheart. I will talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, love you. Bye.
I love you too. Bye. And now, Jean's callouts. In this segment, I get to tell off all the people who pissed you off. How I love to be able to be there for you guys. Let's get a little naughty. Okay. Liz Daniel 444 in Nashville, Tennessee. To David. Can't believe you stole my brother's guitar on the way out. You're a fucking douchebag, and you sing like shit. Oh, took the guitar. Man. And you can't even sing. That's just sad. Wonder Mike from La Jolla, California says, you know what you did. Hope you can live with yourself. Fuck off, Vanessa. That's vague and kind of terrifying. Vanessa, you know what you did. Brooklyn from Virginia Beach, Virginia says, taking the dog was a dick move. Bring him back, Mark. Yeah, Mark. Don't take the fucking dog. That is a dick move. You can leave, but give her back her dog. Jeez. Okay. Pink Ranger 84, all the way from the UK, says, congrats, Jeff. I heard she has crabs. Oh, Jeff, you should have stayed where you were. Crabs are no good. And last but not least, Princess JJ in Raleigh, North Carolina says, stop trying to call me. You're the worst date I've ever been on, Mike. Yeah, Mike, stop trying to call her. Get the hint. She doesn't fucking like you. Well, that was Jean's callouts. I hope you enjoyed it. Now that I read them back, some of these are pretty sad, so I hope it all works out. And now, on to the news. That's right, it's time for Love Declassified, with a special report titled Errands, read by world-famous platypus midwife, Cat Lady.
Last juicer, Fuquay. You bought the last juicer they had and were picking out vegetables for it. You mentioned one type you liked best. We were chatting about it when my phone rang and I was distracted for a few minutes. I was going to be bold and ask you if we could share some of each other's juice together. Where were we and what was the vegetable? This could be fun.
Carrot.
Yeah, I wonder how specific it is.
You aren't going to juice a butternut squash, so I'm pretty sure that it wasn't that.
Wait, are you not supposed to juice butternut squash?
It's difficult.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't have.
Don't let me tell you that story. That's a whole other dumb for love story. Okay, so she had this
Some horrible kind of joke in there about the name of that squash.
So she grabbed an eggplant, which we all know what that is, the emoji for. Mm-hmm. And so he grabbed the eggplant. And who wants eggplant juice? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But she had such a moment that she got distracted with her phone. I mean, unless her kids are calling that the house is on fire, if you're in that moment, then why do you start like tweeting? My phone rang, and then I got distracted on Facebook.
Yeah, I guess they were distracted just long enough for the other person to pack up their crap and roll on.
Well, because why? I mean, imagine this. I'm grabbing the last juicer. Oh, we picked the same carrot. Right? And then I'm in the middle of talking to you about this shit, and you're just like, oh, peace out. And you go to your phone, I'm going to be like, bye.
Right?
That just seems rude.
Yeah.
This is on her.
Yeah.
Don't even write this ad. He is over you and your carrots. He does not want to juice your melons. I'm just saying.
I mean,
now she's being all like meat cute about it, but her meat cute was broken by the fact that she was distracted by her phone.
well, you know what? Bullet dodged if the next thing out of their mouth was, I was going to be bold and ask you if we could share some of each other's juice together.
Yeah. I don't like this.
No.
let's share each other's juice. I mean, that's not even bold. That just sounds gross.
Yeah.
Like if somebody, if I'm at the store,
Boldly gross.
if I'm at the store and I pick the last juicer and I'm having a fabulous talk with Karen and she's like, you want to share each other's juice? I'm gonna be like, hell no. Because that doesn't sound inviting.
In bold, gross.
And now, I mean, I'm pretty sure that he feels just like blown off. And he's like, no, I'm just going to drink my own juice or the juice of my neighbor.
Did she mention that it was the last juice? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, when she's talking, she's not mentioning the last juicer, I don't think.
No.
So she's just talking about the vegetable that they went to grab
Right.
at the same time. And then...
Can we get an instant replay on that?
And I just feel like his hand remained on the carrot as she turned around and got on her damn phone and started talking to somebody else. Oh, John, I'm at the store. Yeah, I just tried to grab a carrot. This guy grabbed a carrot.
Oh my God, you know what probably happened is she said what she was going to say on
And
the
the guy-
phone to someone else.
and the guy dipped.
And he was like, no, I'm good.
He took his vegetables and he went underground. He's a rabbit now. Okay, what's next?
To the fairy who shared my gaze, Carrie Publix. Dressed smartly in a pink top, neatly tucked into a pair of black slacks, you move with both grace and power, and you have mastered the art of allowing your strength to be demonstrated in the form of kindness. I imagined that we would have shared words had I not been preoccupied with a rather innocuous conversation with my companions. To me, you do not merely glow, but rather illuminate all which orbits you. I feel like a better man for even having been the recipient of your smile. Had you not been busy with your work, I would undoubtedly have approached. I was the man whose presence seemed to attract your eye for longer than is generally appropriate. There are a lot of words here.
Okay, so I know we talk about descriptors.
Yeah.
This went too far.
Yeah.
Don't turn it into
really
like
did.
a sci-fi episode or something that it's going to be like, your glow of your aura made me feel like...
Yeah, is this
I
a
could
real
dance
person
on the moon.
or the character that someone's aged college professor is going to be sleeping with in their novel?
I feel like it's a Quentin Tarantino movie and somebody opened a chest and this glowing thing came out and then it started walking around and then that's what they saw. I don't think this is real. And how bad of a man was he that she made him better just by how she walked down a Publix? Like, what does that say about you,
You know
dude?
what? Even taking it completely at the face, I don't know.
Okay, now this is where
All of
descriptors
that,
go
all of
wrong.
that, and
Because
then
it could have been like
yeah.
pretty and nice, but then you went too far. You went too far.
Yeah, now it seems obsessed.
And it's like the afterglow you had the moment that you opened that can of Coke and took a sip because your thirst was aching like
slow sip.
It's like he wrote a sonnet about weird shit.
Your throat bobbing as you swallow the cola.
Oh no. No, I don't understand this.
You
So
don't
it's
like that?
like this guy had this like ethereal experience at Publix, and this woman is just like walking in her slacks and her pink top again with no head. And she's just walking around doing her thing. And see, this is the thing that freaks me out about going out now. Now I think I'm just going to stay in.
No.
Because you don't ever know who you're encountering, how they're looking at you, and what they're thinking. And this guy had a whole
Experience.
He had a whole novel, okay?
Yeah.
Like, this is like some kind of like romantic movie that I would not pay to go see.
Yeah, we're talking best case scenario. This is heavily plagiarized.
It's like a Nicholas Sparks novel, but then it dips into like an E.T. thing.
No, what?
So I'm just confused. Well, look, I mean, it's
No,
like,
you're not
and then the
wrong.
glow, and then the color of her auras. And I think that all of that is so, I mean, look, what I'm saying is this.
The way that he wrote it
The
sounds
way
spacey
that he
and
wrote
weird.
it sounds spacey and weird, and like he was having like some sort of an intergalactic moment in his pants.
Yes. And I
it's
don't
like,
think that it's helped
beam me up,
by
Scotty.
like to the fairy who shared my gaze. Like there's all of these
And
descriptors
why
in
is
here.
she a fairy?
And then we get fairy.
I
Like, she's just
literally
gonna-
thought that he was going to say that it was Halloween and she
Yeah.
was walking around in a costume and she had wings.
That's
And
the naivety. I wish I was
turning
there.
it. No, now I'm turning into you because usually you're the one that says this, and I'm like, no.
Wait, yeah, no.
He's a murderer. But so this dude is walking around the Publix
Mm-hmm.
with his companions. He couldn't even say friends. Get over yourself, dude. You were with a bunch of people that didn't really want to be there.
He had been preoccupied with a rather innocuous conversation with his companions.
Did he just buy a dictionary?
Oh my god, wait. Maybe we're coming at this from the wrong angle.
Oh, here we go.
What if he's the alien?
And that, hey, wait a minute.
So he's talking.
What if this is just how he sees? Because he's not from this planet.
Exactly.
So all he could see is her glow.
Right.
And the way she flows.
Yeah. And
But he's not colorblind because he saw that she had black work pants and a pink top.
Right.
Or did she? I don't know. But I'm just saying. So maybe he's not from this planet and he's like, and he's walking behind her and she's glowing, and that's
his
really all he can
alien
see.
society, they don't mention people's heads.
I think that's weird. How he saw her was really strange. I've never heard it described like that.
Yeah.
Usually it's like, and then that she made him a better man for walking around in a pink shirt and black slacks.
No.
She had that hyper glow.
For the smile. She smiled at him and he felt like he was suddenly a better man.
She smiled at the person behind you.
Oh my God.
And how do you know she was smiling? You were too busy lost in her glow. Was it a smile? Was it?
I don't know. Maybe my alien theory is wrong.
No,
maybe.
I think you're right on. I think he was like,
maybe she's some kind of, I don't know.
And he was just like watching her glow because that's just how his eyes work.
Yeah. Honestly, we have 3 possibilities. The most likely is he's an alien.
Or he's like a reincarnated Shakespeare, which is also an alien. Either way, we win.
Second most likely would be she is some kind of mythological folkloric creature who hypnotizes people, and he is being slowly ingested by now the spider version of her as we speak.
My horn can pierce the sky.
And the third option is he's just a weirdo. But I don't like that one as much as spider creature and alien, so we're going to pretend that one isn't.
Yeah, I think we should just go with that.
Yep.
That, or he has special magical eyes after LASIK that went terribly wrong. That's just how he sees the world.
Yep. We support you, very weird man at the Publix. And by support, we mean...
We don't support you. She's just being nice. Get some glasses. Do something about that overexposure to the sun. Oh, or he could have looked into the eclipse.
It wasn't a woman at all. It was just the sun wearing a pair of slacks.
He looked into the eclipse when it happened, and now that's how he sees the world. So he doesn't even have to be an alien. Just don't look at the eclipse. What's next?
Largo Jiffy Lube, 4301 East Bay Drive. We were both waiting. You, very cute, seemed interested. Me, handsome guy that regrets not asking. Don't go back to Jersey till we get together. Winky face with a nose.
He complimented his own self, looking for her.
Yeah.
Hey, in case you don't know, it's me. I'm the handsome guy at the Jiffy Lube. And she just gets cute girl.
Yeah.
Like, why is that the go-to? See, I told you.
Well, you know what? It's very cute.
Oh, okay. Hey, don't pick up people at Jiffy Lube.
Yeah, it's not going to sound good.
I met you at Jiffy Lube.
Okay. Again, though, I feel like we have to hyper focus in on the fact that he has one of those written out emojis with a nose.
Yeah, I always think that if you put a winky face with a nose, you're psychotic.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
Those are one of the forbidden emojis that literally only parents can send to their children without looking weird.
Yeah. Like, if you send me, like, a winky face and a peach, I'm just confused. But if you send me some kind of, like, a winky face with a nose and a peach, I'm blocking you.
Yeah, it just doesn't look good.
You are blocked immediately.
We invented new emojis for a reason.
Yeah. Okay, so he sees her?
Yes.
But they don't talk.
Apparently not. I mean, he says seemed interested, but that could mean anything.
So why didn't he go up to her? Okay, look, like, Jiffy Lube is like the goddamn DMV. You have nothing but time.
It's
okay,
true.
You are sitting there for them to build a battery from scratch to put in your car, okay? Literally go steal brakes from somebody else's car to put in your car, which is why it takes so long, okay? Sew the brake pads together like a quilt. You have to not only pack a breakfast and a lunch, but a dinner and a snack.
And possibly breakfast for the next day.
They're closed, but they're still open. Because that's how long it takes. So how do you not have time within that time of the horrible smelling coffee and your car lifted up, now with its guts hanging out, and all you needed was a brake job? How do you not have a moment between all of that time?
Have to bleep out Jiffy Lube now.
I'm not saying they do a bad job. I'm saying this is what happens at most automotive shops. You're waiting for a long time.
You are waiting for
It does not matter. You do wait for a long time. When you go to get your car repaired, it takes forever. It could
really
be the
does.
smallest thing.
Yeah, so that whole time, and there's no reason for me to believe that they actually interacted, because so many of these are no interaction. He calls himself handsome guy.
And he was there just to repair the lighter in his car. He knew he was going to be there for 6 hours.
Yeah.
He could have written her a poem.
Oh my God. Like the Publix guy.
Like the Publix guy, only less weird.
Less weird.
Don't talk about her glow.
No.
Because that just makes, I don't know, man.
Yeah, you know what?
Don't see my insides. What about that? Like, if you're going to talk about me, just describe
We're getting
me.
derailed by Publix guy
No,
again.
but I'm just saying, don't see my insides. I wanted to say that before and I forgot. Don't see my insides. Don't see my inner glow. Don't.
My inner glow is private, and we can discuss it as
Yes,
such
exactly.
when we are there.
So this Jiffy Lube guy that thinks he's awesomely handsome and hot should just really date himself.
Yeah.
It should be touch myself at Jiffy Lube because I'm so handsome. I didn't even notice you there. You were a distraction.
That's horrible.
My car took 6 hours.
Hey, look, she has to be at least kind of important to him that he demands that she not return to Jersey until they get together.
How did he know she was going there? Was he listening to our conversation? Hey, I need my car fixed. I gotta go to Jersey.
I guess maybe they did.
No.
No.
She was telling the service guy. Or she was on her phone.
You know what? Service guy is
Eavesdropped.
actually a really good hypothesis because
she went to the counter here. How long is this going to
gotta
take
get
to
an
get
oil
fixed?
change or something.
I
road
need
trip.
I need to replace my battery. I know that takes 10 hours. I need to go to Jersey by morning. You know, can you just get me a battery that just
that sounds
functions
right. That
and you
sounds
could just
right.
put in my car right now? Because if I went to like Advanced Auto, I could personally just buy a battery and it would take 5 minutes. So yeah. She could have just been talking to the guy and been like, hey, I have this trip. I'm going to Jersey. And this fuck who's staring at himself in the mirror and then looking at her and then staring at himself goes, oh, she's going to Jersey. And then doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
Because he's so amazing and has so much swag. Or maybe he was just distracted by his own reflection.
He was too busy kissing his own arms. Not necessarily biceps, but the arms.
It
where
had
biceps
rained.
Should be.
It had rained that day, and the puddle made a reflection, and he couldn't take his eyes off of himself. It was only when she stepped in the puddle and messed the reflection that he saw how cute she was.
Ah,
And
very
then-
cute.
Yeah, and then stood behind her so he could see himself from the back of her head for some reason, and then overheard her conversation. Again, stalkery.
Yeah. A lot of these are stalkers.
Don't go to Jersey until you contact me. Why? Why is she going to stop her life
and
for
I
some
cannot
Jiffy Lube guy?
emphasize enough that this is quite a ways away from Jersey.
Exactly.
Yeah, so she's clearly like just visiting. It is a hell of a drive back to Jersey.
Hey, cute girl who got her car fixed at Jiffy Lube, I hope that you made it to your destination. If you're on your way now, look in your rearview mirror. Something seems suspicious. Call the authorities. No. But thank you.
Unfortunately, now is the part where we have to grade these.
Oh, geez. Yes. Okay. So,
Out of Last Juicer, The Fairy at Publix, and Largo Jiffy Lube, I don't know.
the best one I would have to say was the juicer, because it just seemed like the person pieced out.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, again, I'll do it. The carrot. And then nothing came from it, but
Yeah.
nothing terrible came
No,
from
that's true.
it.
It was pretty normal.
And maybe this person feels a little bit bad that they blew this other person off and they're trying to like make amends.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think I can look past the juice thing.
If he does answer her and he wants to share
They
juice,
didn't
that's his
say
problem.
it, so you know.
He has eggplant and she has mango. That's a horrible combination.
I don't like any
apple?
of it.
Apple? I don't know. I just like to go far. I like to juice interesting fruits and vegetables. Apparently, with the butternut squash, we can't get into. No, like you literally can't get into
You
it. It's
can't.
the hardest thing to cut.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, moving on. The second best would be the Jiffy Lube guy.
No. Okay, wait, no. And I'll
Okay.
tell you why.
Okay.
Don't go back to Jersey till we get together.
Okay.
And that weird winky face.
Yes,
It
true.
just seemed like that could have been cute if maybe there was like a cuter winky face, but you know, because
What was the other guy? They're all becoming blurs.
Yeah, that's fair. The other one was the horribly poetic guy discussing the fairy at Carrie.
Okay,
Publix.
I don't understand how you don't think that's worse. He saw her inner self.
Okay, that one
He
is-
literally had an out-of-body experience.
It's
He
far-
died and came back.
It's far too descriptive, but I don't know if it's worse than don't go back to Jersey till we get together.
What if she was a ghost? What if he could see dead people?
You know what?
We didn't even
Yeah.
think about that. I saw your
See,
glow. You were
the
last
fairy
wearing
guy,
a pants and a picture.
despite going far too far, I feel like maybe just was aiming to not be like the other people and just
And then
overshot.
he overshot.
Because look,
He
he
didn't
mentions
overshot.
her top and then the slacks and their color. He doesn't go with any like physical features, but maybe he was worried that it would come off objectifying.
Blonde hair is not objectifying.
I
Brunette
know.
is not
I
objectifying.
know.
Purple hair.
But-
He called her a fairy.
but
I think
like-
he could at least describe her hair.
He actually mentions why
I think it's too much cred.
he didn't walk up to her, and it's because she was working.
That's
there's,
fair?
Right. There's like the respecting of the space.
We're going to teeter back and forth.
But then
ebb and flow.
again, the last line, it's like, you looked at me for longer than blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's not a basis for all of this. Yeah, what if we just tie them?
I think we're going to have a tie.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you why, because...
They're both mediocre, not bad, but not good. And then they both fudge it entirely at the end.
Yeah, they fudge it.
Yeah.
At the end. Big time.
Yeah. To the fairy who shared my gaze comes out slightly ahead because he doesn't call himself handsome.
That's because he was blinded by her glow. He couldn't even see himself.
He was at least passively blinded by the glow. He didn't tell her what to do.
No.
He just was way too involved. But as long as he stays as unobtrusive as he seemed...
And he said she made him a better man.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Love is dead.
Oh, where are these love stories that start in, oh, I saw you and you were brunette and we bumped into each other and we dropped our grocery bags and I was going to give you my number, but then
I think you're missing the ladies from Wawa.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the Wawa ladies.
The Wawa ladies.
From episode 1. Yeah, the Wawa ladies.
Yeah.
Well, I hope
See, that one was
then.
perfect.
Yeah. But I'm with you. These two are tied.
Yeah.
If you can't hook up at a Jiffy Lube, you ain't got game. Okay? Because all you got is time.
There's nothing but
It's time. It's
and
like,
everyone's so bored.
It's like being in the afterlife and saying, I have no time for this. You have nothing but time. At the DMV, at any car mechanic place, you have nothing but time to hook up. So that was your bad.
Yeah.
Big time.
Waiting in line at the deli counter.
Yeah.
Somehow, no other people in line still takes you 12 years.
Yeah. Waiting for anything.
Waiting in line. It's true. You've got nothing but time.
It's like if you can't hook up in the ER.
I may be able to see why you couldn't hook up in an ER.
Now, wait a minute. If the person's wearing a mask, don't go near them.
What?
I'm just saying, if somebody has a broken leg, okay, if somebody's wearing a mask, it could be contagious.
Oh, you mean the sickness.
Yeah, contagion. No, not like a mask. Like freaking saw or something. Or like a ski mask. It's really cold outside.
Like literally in the hospital with the mask on.
No, I was meaning like a mask because you are sick.
Right.
So if somebody's wearing a mask,
now,
they
what
could
if
be
what if
contagious.
she's particularly gorgeous though, and she's wearing a sick people
You can't
mask?
tell she has a mask, and then you would be writing an article.
She's just got great
Cute
eyes.
girl with eyes.
Yes.
They won't even have a color.
No, they won't.
And we're gonna leave you with that.
Thank you, Cat Lady. That was pure stilltiloquence. That concludes this episode of your favorite podcast, Dump for Love. We hope we made you feel a little bit better about that time you got your hair done in blue spikes because you heard Melissa just really loved Sonic.
Make sure to visit us on social media via @DumpForLove. That's DUMB, the number 4, LOVE. Or visit our website, dumpforlove.com. You can find all of these links in the About section of this podcast and episodes on all platforms. If you're enjoying Dump for Love, tell your friends, family members, ghosts, and coworkers about it. And don't forget to rate and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Leave us a review, and if we love it, we'll read it on an upcoming episode. And our favorite one at the end of the season will get the honor of receiving Gene Morrison's world-famous brookies, just like Pop Pop, aka Abuelito used to eat. This is Gene Morrison signing off and reminding you that we are never too smart to be dumb for love.
Dump for Love is a Vex Network production. Copyright 2019 by the Vex Group, LLC. All rights reserved. Executive producers, Gene Morrison and Diego Paul Sanchez. Production and editing by the Vex Group. Additional writers, Aja Reyes, Jamie, Cat Lady, and Gene Morrison. Music by the Hush Brothers. Cover art, the Vex Group. Special guest, Dana. The word of the day is stilltiloquence. Our new segment today was sourced from Craigslist Missed Connections. All rights reserved. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Dumb for Love. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on all the platforms. And if you enjoy our show, tell your friends and donate to our coffee page. That's ko-fi.com/dumbforlove. For more information and all of these links, check out our website, dumbforlove.com.